Okay guys, in today's video, we're going to be talking about internal links, and it's all about connecting your content. The purpose of internal links is to help users and search engines find related content on your website. The best practices is to use descriptive anchor text, which we went over earlier, to reinforce those topic keywords. And you want to make internal linking a regular part of your content strategy, because the thing is that you want to make your website, like, you don't want it to be a tangled web. You want it to be a very clear picture of what your website looks like, and you want to connect as many of those pages as much as it makes sense, right? If you are I can use SEO as an example, right? I have a blog post that has a lot of information about SEO, but I would just internally link to those pages where it makes sense. Obviously, I'm going to link out to my SEO page. That's my service page. That's my biggest offer that we have. That's the way that people can connect with me for the services that I offer. But at the same time, I also want to connect those internal pages. I want to say, if I'm talking about how to get your website found on Google, I am linking out to Google Search Console. I'm showing you how to set that up for your business because, right, that's very important for understanding your search engine results. But also from an SEO standpoint, I want to teach you how to do keyword research. So I'm going to sprinkle that in there. I'm going to teach you about internal linking. Everything that we've gone over in this course so far is something that's important in an SEO blog. So if I was doing a catch-all, then I would link out to all these different topics. But if I was writing about something specifically, like why internal linking is important to your SEO, I would connect to the anchor text blog post that I have. I would connect to keyword density. I would connect to, even images. I would just kind of show how all that stuff is connected, and also external links because those are important too. But I would just kind of, domain authority, and just kind of showcase how all this stuff connects. And as an easier example, I'm just going to go over the examples that I showed you earlier, because most likely you're not here for SEO tips. As from an SEO standpoint, you want to be able to use that for your own clients or your own business. And so I'm going to go from a psychiatry standpoint and also from those hair care tips. It's very easy. This is like across the board. You can use this strategy any way that you want, but internal links are very important whenever it comes to your website, because you're connecting that puzzle page back together. So I'm going to go up here. This one had no internal links, so I just kind of want to note that there's no links besides here. Sorry. Down here, it had a link to their appointment page, which that's vitally important. But, I would say, like NYC Health and Hospitals Healthcare System or Health Center, I would have also linked out like call, or schedule an appointment, like wherever this is going. So that's to their locations page. So I'm going to get off of their locations page, and I would have a schedule an appointment to their New York City, like whatever their main thing is, I would have that there, or I'd have that connect to their appointment page. So that's how I would internally link. But also, this is the big hospital system. And so I would take this, and if I have a doctor that, let's see here, medical records, patient confidentiality, resources near you, about us, maybe services, see what their mission, values, leadership, newsroom, PR. Get care. Okay, here we go. I would be linking out to these services from this blog post. So here, where did we go? Get care. So OB, no. Vision, trauma, no. Mental health. So I would be linking out to their mental health services. And then I would actually go a step further to see if they have like anxiety and all that stuff there. No, these are just hospital systems. Yeah, so that wasn't the greatest example, but I would link out to their mental health page from here because of depression and anxiety. But if I was a physician who had this website, I would definitely be using this as an opportunity to link out to the treatment page of anxiety. And then I would link out to the treatment page for depression, fatigue and aggressive, that's not usually one, but maybe like becoming aggressive, maybe link out to anger management, and just kind of go from there and just kind of have those different treatments systems in there. And then also I would find other blog posts that relate, right? Eating a well-balanced diet. Like I would put that as a link to another blog post that I have about why a well-balanced diet is important for your mental health. Just any of those kind of ways to tie in your other content just kind of ties up with a bow, but also keeps those users on your website so they're just engaging with you and your content instead of looking to Google for other answers to the same questions. And so here we can go over here to stress relievers, tips to tame stress. So let's see, like Mayo Clinic staff, it would have been nice to have an internal link to whoever the staffer is that wrote this, and it would bring you to their profile. Instead, it just brings you to their staff page. So that's the first internal link that we have there. And then you see, this is not a great example either because there's no internal links inside of their content. Once again, Mayo Clinic, like they're a very big company, their domain authority is huge because the amount of traffic that they get is just kind of out of this world. But at the same time, they're still missing out on opportunities to be able to tie in the other content that they push out, because they push out great content. But I would want to see it a step further and just kind of saying, like, again, eating a healthy diet is important to hard taking care of yourself. You know that somewhere in here they have a thing about eating a healthy diet is important for your mental health. So just throwing the link in there would just do wonders to be able to connect the content, and then people would be clicking on there to just kind of further their journey into these stress relievers. And like physical activity, throw in a blog post about how physical activity is a stress reliever or how physical activity is beneficial to your mental health. This would be an easy win for somebody with a domain authority of Mayo Clinic. They would be able to probably pretty easily gobble up that keyword, and if they were just using their internal linking correctly. And so since they don't have any, I'll go on to Healthline and show you how they actually internally link a lot better than what Mayo Clinic and everybody else does. So as you can see here, the 16 simple ways to relieve stress, each one of these will bring you, that's a hyperlink that will bring you directly to that heading. So you go down here and you get a 6-week study, that's an external link. The CDC, that's an external link. Let's see, overeat. Let's see if that brings you to, yes. So see, Healthline use this way of may lead you to overeat and consume ultra processed foods. But guess what? 7 harmful effects of overeating. So they did a great job of tying in that blog post about overeating back from their stress relieving. And let's see, magnesium. Yep. 12 evidence-based health benefits of magnesium. And then let's see, B vitamins. That's probably another post on B vitamins. Yep, another Healthline post on B vitamins. So let me just close out of some of here, but whole food options can include, let's see, vegetables, fruits, beans, fish, nuts, seeds. Yeah, vegetables, fruits, beans, evidence-based, top 9 nuts, 6 super healthy seeds. And do you see here how they have every single one of these words is linked up to another article? Healthline has an insanely huge website. And so this is the way, like I said, like Google doesn't really like mark you down for all of the internally linking that you do. The only time that it kind of pulls away is what we'll get into in the next video, and that's external linking. But as far as internal links, as many times as it makes sense, you can link out to that other content on your page, and that way it just boosts up the rest of your page. Every page that you link out to, if this article starts to get traffic, it will share the authority with those other pages. It just kind of shares the love and kind of can increase the rankability for all of those other pages that you're linking to as well. And it also gives Google a better idea about what your website is about. It breaks down all of these different topics, and it just lets Google know that you're organized, you know what you're talking about, and that they need to show your information to other people. And so we'll continue to scroll down just a little bit. You can see all of these reviews and everything, but you can just tell that, like taking a bath, lighting candles, all of these things are just different links that are going to other articles that they have. It's a great way to show how well that they've done this. And then I'll just go back here to the blonde hair care tips, just to kind of give you that other example, because these aren't huge brands here. Like, this is obviously a very well done website, but you can tell that it still has a local feel to it. And so, you know, some big SEO professional is likely not behind it. This is just a very well done website for the topic that we are researching. And so you can see here, I believe the Olaplex stuff is internally linked. Nope. Yeah. So you can see here, she has Olaplex Hair Salon. So she internally linked back to her own service page about Olaplex hair care products. So if you were in the Denver area and you were looking for a hairstylist that had Olaplex at their hair salon, you would see this come up in your local search rankings. And also you would have all of the information that you would need to be able to go into her shop and buy it there. One way that I would improve maybe the user journey is, because they do sell it in the salon, would maybe to add an opportunity to buy it directly from her shop online. That's what we helped a lot of people do during COVID when you couldn't go to the salons and do anything like that. We would create that Shopify or WooCommerce extension to their salons, so that way they could sell their products without having to go into the store. So you could have your purple shampoo, you could get your hair extensions, you know, you can kind of do all of those things without having to go into the salon. And that just kind of kept the revenue flowing while you were unable to go in and get your hair done. But as we're on this site, right, I am going to see her services. And so you can see blonding, balayage, highlights or baby lights, face framing, blonde, consultation. So over here, on here, I am going to look for, so there's no mention of balayage or let's see, face framing. Nope. So no face framing. Let's see, consultation. Yeah, so consultation, I would have that linked out to her services over here. I would just grab, doesn't look, or here, let's go to appointment. Yeah, so I would externally link consultation first to the appointments page. And I would also make sure that this number was clickable, so that way somebody on a mobile device would be able to do that. And then I see an address listed here. I would like to see a Google Maps right there. So that way I could click directly on that and see if this hair salon is within the area that I'm willing to go to. But that's it for the Hair by Natalia. Again, like you can tell that it's just, it's a local hair salon to the Denver area. And that's why, you know, just doing little things like this. But you see how she plugged out to 12 benefits instant healthy hair treatment. I would like to have seen a blog post here about the benefits of using that. And then I would internally link to that. And then, you know, then I would maybe plug the product on another page. But you see there's more external links than there are internal links on this website. But here we'll go 10 easy pro tips. And then you can see here, dry and prone to breakage. It goes out to this, what causes dry hair, how to maintain blonde hair, 8 tips on how to repair damaged hair, you see there's a lot of links in here. So let's see if we can get a breakdown of the links. So we have 207 internal links and only 7 external links. And so that right here shows you that they did a great job at linking out all of their products and other blog posts and everything like that. And that's it for the internal links. And in the next video, I'm going to show you all about external linking and why that is also important to boost your SEO. I'll see you in the next video.